Hey, listeners, thanks for tuning into the podcast. I just want to take a moment to mention the podcast sponsor, retrogamestore.com.au. Head over there for all your Game Boy refurbish and repair needs. Screens, shells, buttons, and all the bits and pieces. And there's a complete custom build made to order service as well. Also, plenty more retro gaming goodness like video cables, display stand and power supplies, controls, etc. And you can add the code PixelPie at checkout to get 10% off your order. Also, take a moment to say if you enjoyed this episode and haven't already, give it a subscribe or follow and a review where you can. And maybe you want to recommend the Pixel Pie podcast to anyone you know that would enjoy it. That'd be really appreciated. So thanks for listening, and now let's get on with the show.
Hi, I'm Amber, aka Frankinboy, and you're listening to the Pixel Pie podcast.
Hello, Amber. How are you?
Hello, I'm not too bad. Are you, Scott?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a sunny Saturday by the looks of the light coming through your window there.
It's actually quite grey.
Oh, is that
yeah?
The grey?
But it's very very muggy here at the minute.
Oh, is it?
You're in the
UK.
Humid.
Whereabouts in the UK?
Yeah. So I currently live in Cheshire, so it's kind of everyone seems to know Manchester though, but but I'm originally actually from down sort of like London way.
Right.
But I've lived kind of like Manchester, Cheshire way now for like 20 years. So hence the really, really like not non-London accent. Having quite a Manchester accent.
Cheshire. All I know about Cheshire is the cat from Alice in Wonderland. Why was he the Cheshire cat?
Honestly, no idea.
Oh, sorry.
I really don't know.
You didn't grow up
No. But I live in Cheshire, and it's just been really. The weather's been good. It's just been really like humid, and I just don't cope well with heat, me.
Yeah, and do you guys have like in sort of the UK and stuff? Do you guys have a lot of like air conditioning?
No, it's not actually like it's not a standard thing that we really have here. Just buy a lot of fans. That's how we kind of work around it. Yeah.
Oh well. Well, I guess it's a good excuse to kind of stay inside and run a fan and mod a few Game Boys, hey?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why we're here, Amber, because you are a busy lady. You have a day job, but it is not.
Yeah.
It is not modding, refurbishing Game Boys. And that astounds me, because when I scroll through your Instagram, I would have sworn that you are one of those professional Game Boy refurbishers.
Nope.
At the top of your Instagram, it says bringing Game Boys back to life. And I love that. It's just straight up honest, and it's just good, clean facts. So maybe we'll kind of go back a bit to when Amber was a little Amber, and or maybe I don't know, maybe Game Boys became a thing, when you're an adult. So let's just go back to young Amber and why you think now that older Amber brings Game Boys back to life.
So I remember being a kid. I remember getting my first DMG.
Right.
And I remember having my DMG and having, I think, the original Super Mario Land game, Alleyway. Pretty sure I had that. I think they were like the first two games that I had, and I used to be obsessed with Alleyway. I don't know why.
That's the kind of like breakout Arkanoid style.
So it's like the blocks, and you just like kind of hit the ball. I have no idea why I loved that game so much as a kid. I just did.
It's one of the sort of meditative type games, though, isn't it? You kind of it's just a left and a right. There's no like running and jumping and double things. And,
But then even as a kid, obviously I wasn't very good at it. But I just used to love playing that, and even as an adult, I still cannot complete it.
Oh, really?
I still can't.
Well,
I tried.
It seems to me like one of those games that would just get infinitely harder and harder until your mind explodes.
Yeah. it's like the bricks get like all kind of like, yeah, and the ball goes faster, and
Oh my
yeah, I
goodness.
just, yeah. So I one day I will complete that game. I will
Well,
complete it.
good luck.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
really good at that, you should think about maybe, going for the world record or something, because often it's these little obscure games like on Twin Galaxies
Yeah,
that
yeah.
don't actually have a world record set. And all you got to do is put it up,
No, yeah,
and
yeah,
now
yeah.
you're a world record holder. You just never know.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've been actually quite like I don't do speed running. I just find
Right.
it fascinating.
Yeah.
The whole speed,
Me
the whole
too.
speed
Yeah.
running community. I just find it fascinating, like
Yeah.
how dedicated people are, like credit to them, the fact that they do that and they can set them world records. I just find it fascinating. Yeah. And every so often I will I tune into Twitch, like watching gaming on there. I'll sometimes put on like, a speedrunner who might be speedrunning like Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
I think Cheese is I think he's called Cheese. He's quite one of the top guys who speedruns Super Mario 64. And I tend to just watch him, and I just find it fascinating, like the whole thing with it. So maybe I could give it a go.
Well, you just never know. It's funny, isn't it? Because like my daughter and I will play a little bit of like original Mario NES. And she's very I'm like, even when I play Sonic the Hedgehog, I tend to kind of not do it right. I'm like going back for this coin and doing that. Like Sonic's supposed to like you just sort of get through. And I treat Mario the same. But then my daughter is like, boink, 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 and just bounces and jumps and just runs. I'm like, she's a born speed runner. Look at her.
Yeah, she might be. Yeah. So who knows? I might give it a go. Yeah. And then I do remember obviously getting the classic Pokemon Yellow. I remember the whole hype with Pokemon being a kid. Legit. Oh, everyone had the cards, didn't they? I think at one point the Pokemon cards got banned from my school.
Right.
Because people were like fighting over Pokemon cards. That's how bad it was. And I remember being bought like Pokemon Yellow, and just that's just like one of my all-time kind of favorite like games that I like playing on like the DMG and stuff like that. So I definitely remember getting that. And then I think the color came out. I remember having a color again, just like used to play Pokemon on it, things like that. And then I think then I remember getting a pink advanced.
Oh, gorgeous. Is that kind of like semi-see-through one, like the kind of Arctic blue, but the pink version?
Yeah. I remember getting one of them for I think it was birthday or Christmas. But so I've kind of always grown up kind of having a Game Boy console. Right. But I had like PlayStation 1s and all the stuff like that as well. So always
stuff? Earlier Nintendo?
No, I didn't, because I was born at the start of the 90s. So I think by the time I kind of got into all the gaming, like the PlayStation 1 had come out,
right,
and stuff like that. Yeah, so I do remember having a Sega though. It must have been a Mega Drive, I think, and it had Sonic and stuff like that on it. So I did have that kind of like classic Sega console. But I was like PlayStation 1, kind of grew up in that era of consoles. So
right. And so sort of at school and things, were you, I mean, I often hear this similar story from people about Pokemon, and I sort of think that maybe if Pokemon wasn't created, the Game Boy may have died.
You know what? That's it's because don't get me wrong, there's so many classics on the Game Boy. There really was. But I think the whole, like you say, the whole hype around like Pokemon and all that stuff, it definitely like just gave the Game Boy something, didn't it? The game and things like that. So it's probably not wrong there, really.
I mean, there's smarter people than me that really know the facts, but it just seems that it just goes so hand in hand. Did you have siblings growing up?
I've got a brother, but again, he wasn't like, he didn't really bother with the Game Boy. I think the first Game Boy he got bought was I think it might have been the SP.
Right.
That used to fold. I remember him getting that, and he got the Mario version. And
I
nice. Remember being and I was a bit jealous, so I used to steal it and play Mario on it.
I picked this up a little while. That's a Mario DS. It's in pretty good shape. It's been dropped, and this corner's got a little kind of flat spot on it. But it's kind of cool, huh? Like,
that's nice. That's $20
from some dude with a PlayStation or something. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So yeah, and then he did have like a DS. Do you remember when they first bought like the DS
Oh,
out?
the
You look at that
non-hinged.
DS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the big like brick one. I remember him
Yeah.
having one of them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I've got to
crazy.
admit, I wasn't a massive fan of that one. It was just too bulky.
Yeah.
But the DS, like you've just shown me there, that was like a nice DS, and I've still got my DS. From being a kid, I had a black version of that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've still
Oh, here
got
we
that.
go.
Yeah.
I got two of those over here. I
Yeah. So
just
I've got one
recently
of them.
got a like these R4 gold cards, so my daughter and I can play like Mario Kart DS multiplayer. The
Yeah.
DS was a game changer, I think, in a lot of ways. Just, I mean, the screen and everything, but just that dual screen. There were so many games that were made for the DS with the DS in mind, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely a good little console. Like, oh yeah, it was so good.
And so then continue on a little bit further. Did you sort of keep playing and like were you collecting back then in any way?
No, see that's the sad thing. It's like, back then you don't like from now appreciating like the classic Game Boys and stuff like that. It's sad that I never did keep hold of anything like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I know people who have and like, oh, I've still got my Game Boy Color, and I'm like, oh, a little bit jealous because you just never appreciated it.
No.
It's like I said, my brother having the small Mario SP is probably would have been a very good collectible item to have now. But I don't know what happened to it. And so sadly, no, I didn't.
Well, I was talking to when I had, I guess, Ned. You'd know Ned from Pixel Fix, and when she moved away to uni, she had a whole bunch of cool stuff, and she sold it all for like beer money.
I kind of can't blame her for that, because when you're in uni.
You need beer.
Exactly. Yeah. So I kind of get that, but
well, that's the decisions we make. I mean, I've had so many cool things over the years, but I've just decided I want to do that instead, and you kind of you cash out. Okay, so then I guess like high school,
definitely, then
high school and uni, and you get on with your life, and then was there like a gap, or did you just sort of keep playing and gaming and? Because like all of a sudden you're punching out like a stack of Game Boys. You're bringing a whole bunch of Game Boys back to life.
Yeah, so I don't, during high school, don't really remember. I obviously, again, used to have like the classic PlayStation console, stuff like that. I don't really remember, having much to do sort of like with obviously Game Boys at that point. But it just kind of, for me, it all stemmed from Elliot from the Retro Future. You know what YouTube's like. You just end up down this like dark hole of different videos, and you end up God knows where. And
ordering
I just came
stuff
across
on eBay and
exactly, and I came across one of his videos, like doing like fixing a Game Boy, and I was just like, wow, this is like so cool. Like, at that point I didn't have a Game Boy, so I ended up like sourcing one. I thought, right, I'll give it a go. This looks like I'd love my own Game Boy that was backlit, because everybody knows who had the classic DMG as a kid. You had to sit in the sun to be able to see anything that you were playing on the DMG. So I was like, oh wow, you can actually like backlight a Game Boy now. I was like, this is really cool. So I remember getting a Game Boy, giving it a go, and I broke it.
This is the LCD black backlight.
I actually broke it. I was like, oh, I think I ended up tearing one of the ribbon cables. And then gave it another go, and then it worked. And I've still got that Game Boy that I originally first did and modded myself, because I was just so proud. I was like, just following one of, like I say, Retro Futures videos. I was like, give it a go. And then from then it just I don't know, it just was like, wow, I could really do this. And from then on I just started sourcing the Game Boys, and I'd always try and find ones that did have faults, because I like to fault find. hence why I like to bring them back to life. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it doesn't go to plan. They don't all come back to life. They really don't. But yeah, but sometimes you find it could be like just the common issues of a little bit of battery corrosion on the contacts. You clean that up, it works, it comes back to life, and you think, oh, yes, and stuff like that. Sometimes just like power buttons, things like that, just repairing them, and then before you know it,
rolling of the dice, isn't it? When you're looking at them on eBay or it's like listed as junk, and it's like, is it junk? Or as I scroll through your Insta, I see and like from most recent down, I'm sort of scrolling down as we're talking, a lot of the traditional backlit DMGs.
That is kind of
not IPS.
I have done, don't get me wrong, a few IPS, but I just like the traditional classic backlit DMG. Not having the, it's great that we do have these LCD screens now, and they are so much easier to sort of like mod, but I just prefer like keeping it as classic as I can. Just like, the different colored backlights, just changing it up, and obviously love picking a color scheme. You could probably tell I always try and like mix up the color schemes and stuff like that. So
do you tend to use because I've got a black one that I did there, and that's just sort of that lime green. You can see it there. Do you tend to use a backlight that's a specific color, or you get the ones that can change?
I just tend to get whatever kind of theme I'm going to go with the so I'll think, so what color will go with that color, and then I kind of from that will pick the color backlight that I want to like put in, just whatever will go well with kind of like the color scheme that I've got going. And I have had the odd person say, "Oh, would you do this?" And I have made, a custom ones for people before, but that's something that sometimes I can do, sometimes I can't do. It just depends on work and
if you've
what's
got the
going
parts
on.
and
And if I've got the parts and things like that. Exactly. So I just like to pick like whatever kind of color goes with what.
So most of what you do, you just kind of build with what you've got, and then just list it on eBay. And then someone just sees it and likes it, and that's how you sell it.
Mostly at the minute I do tend to use Etsy. I've been on Etsy for quite a while, so I tend to just use Etsy mostly at the minute. Seems to be just a better place, to like get like the listings on there, and obviously like you've got your true reviews on there as well, I feel, on Etsy. So like people could,
how does Etsy work? Because I do hear it come up a lot. So how does it differ from just straight up eBay? Can you explain to some of us that aren't aware?
So I just think Etsy's a bit better because like you can add like a video to your listings. I think in some places you can't see the videos. I don't know if that was kind of like a trial thing they were testing out recently. So like you can add like a video onto your listings. It shows the Game Boy working, which I always think is a key thing, rather than just a still picture. It's just like it's just more in terms of like how it's set out is just a lot better than eBay, I think, because your reviews are on your page then, along with your listing, so people can kind of like judge like, right, okay, so this person's like, great at A, B, and C, so they seem like a good seller, I'll buy from them. Whereas like eBay, you've only I just think it's better in terms of that, in showing like the feedback and just like being able to add a lot more information, things like that. So that's why it kind of wins me over with eBay and stuff like that.
And then I see you've got quite a few color builds with looks like sort of like maybe player wave shells. So do you kind of buy shells en masse, or do you kind of get a couple of each and just sort of keep them and sell them, or what's your approach with that kind of stock?
So normally I just tend to, I have to plan ahead. So I'll see kind of what stock I've got, what consoles I've got, what's been repaired, what condition things are in. Because obviously at the end of the day, if you are buying them broke, you have to be sure that they're going to be working, they're going to be, up to scratch. So I'll tend to like not bulk buy shells as such. I'll just kind of see what's out there. So I bought like quite a few of like Jamesy Plays shells, because he's like incredible with his designs. So yeah, I'll just buy like, and Retro Modding, they've got like some really cool shells on their websites by different artists and designers. So I've been on there before, bought shells. So I just kind of like mix it up like that, and just kind of plan, build, and see what's out there and what I can kind of create.
It must be challenging. I know I spoke with Tristan Custom Handhelds a little while ago about I don't think some people appreciate, if you really want to give it a good crack out, some people don't appreciate the investment. And I was talking to him about a photo of I think it was something like 64 Game Boys on a table. It was a big lot that he had bought, and from Japan. And by the time he'd gone through sort of taxes and shipping and stuff, it was a couple of $1,000s. That's if someone said to me, "Hey, I just spent a couple of $1,000s on secondhand Game Boys," and I didn't quite understand it, I'd be like, "Are you crazy, man? Like, what are you doing?" But to really be able to support and supply a market, if that's what you're trying to do, you need to make that commitment, right?
Yeah, definitely. I used to, before the pandemic, I used to buy a lot of my Game Boys off Sendico. But then the problem we've got with like places, because Sendico is just like a massive, sort of like Japanese online thing where you can use like Japan Yahoo auctions to buy the Game Boys, stuff like that. But then the problem we've got is then the fees and, like you say, the shipping that then goes on top of that. You end up thinking, actually, this great deal that I thought I had has actually now bumped up by X more amount because of how much it's going to cost, and things like that. And then obviously when exactly, and then when it
keep going, sorry.
And when it gets to when it gets to the UK as well, we you'll be hit with custom fees as well. So we have to then, that could be like another £30-40 on top of what you've already paid in custom fees, and it all adds up. And so like more recently I've been like sourcing just like on eBay UK, just from people who've during the pandemic clearly had the time to clear stuff out, they've just put they've just put the consoles on eBay, and I've just kind of been buying like ones off there, and it's quick, it gets here quicker, it's and it's just like, it's easier to deal with as well. If there's an issue, they're in the UK, it's not as like difficult. Whereas if you are getting stuff from Japan, when it lands and you think, oh, I thought that was in better condition than it was, it is a letdown. And you're like, oh, that's what I kind of get for buying buying Game Boys from that far. So
that's rolling the dice.
Definitely.
Rolling the dice, and you're making a decision. I mean, I've sort of talked to a few friends and sort of gone, well, maybe we could go in on it together, and that would sort of reduce that hit. But at the same time, you're like, well, how do we decide who gets what? Like if a really beautiful kind of good Nick thing comes out, it was just part of a lot. Like, are we flipping coins? And I'd be butthurt because you called heads, and now you have that, and I have these poopy ones. So you either hook in or you don't.
Exactly. It gets. It does it, and it gets like it just gets complicated with stuff like that, doesn't it? So I've just found it's been so much more easier just to go like kind of locally, just to eBay and places like that at the minute, and just like I say, people have obviously had mass clear outs during the pandemic and lockdown, and it's benefited me anyway, because then it means that there's plenty of Game Boys on eBay at the minute, and I've been able to just been able to purchase them, and so I have got quite a few DMGs at the minute. Like I said, it was just finding the time to mod at the minute, and stuff. So
you've got the extra challenge in that because you prefer to do a backlight and not a straight IPS swap, but you want those front boards with decent screens. I've got a few little projects that, or even like when I pick up, like I've just recently got all of the original Game Boys in the colors. So like the original brick and then all the Play It Loud colors that would have been released in this country. I haven't got the blue one because that's sort of Europe and Japan. I haven't got the white ones, Japan only, but I'm pretty happy. But there's one or two in there. The screens just aren't perfect. I'm sort of like, I ask around to modders and stuff like, have you got any front boards that you don't want, or you want to sell off? And everybody hangs on to them for good reason.
Oh,
but you specifically really want them because that's the type of builds you do. That must make it even more challenging.
Yeah, because it's one of them as well. You sometimes get the boards where you'll go on eBay and it doesn't look too bad, and then you've got people call it screen cancer. I don't really like that term for whatever, just the reason that the way it's called that. I don't personally like that term, but obviously that's what people call it in the modern community.
Like burnt and
so you have that, and and then it's like, oh, okay, so because I'd rather if it was like in good condition, like you say, if you have got the burnt polarizer on it, that's when then you've got to like take off the front polarizer and you've got to get all that then like sorted and perfect and make sure that the new polarizer hasn't got dust. Oh, it just gets complicated.
So you've done that, have you?
So I'd rather have I've replaced I've had like really bad, like in the past, burnt pockets. Pockets seem to be especially really bad for like burnt, like front polarizers.
Right.
I've replaced a few of them in the past, but God, it's a hard task because the glue and everything.
Right.
The glue and everything, the adhesive that is used on the pockets. I don't know what they used on them pockets, but the scrubbing and the scraping to get the glue off is just
really.
Yeah.
I thought it would be because, like, I've done my own DMG backlight, and you kind of the tricky bit is peeling that polarizer off without reefing the whole screen and ribbon off the board, and then you put the new polarizer on, and then turn it once you bivert it. I figured it'd just be something like that you just take it off, clean it, and just slide little panel back in.
This is why, like, this is why I just love the DMG, because I find it so much more easier to work with, especially taking, like you say, the back polarizer off, whereas the pockets, the ribbon cables on the back of the pockets, they are so easy to damage, because the ribbon kind of runs like right across the back of the screen. So if you're going to be peeling it off, I've broken so many pockets trying to do it. So personally, for me, with the pocket side, I do prefer the IPS screens in them, just to keep my sanity from like not breaking any more pockets, really.
Just to make it like an efficient process, not take like an hour and a half as opposed to 20 minutes.
Exactly. Whereas with the DMG, I just find it, don't get me wrong, you do get the odd stubborn one where you cannot peel oh God, I don't know what glue's been on it, and it can take
for 30 years
so long. It can take me like so long to peel it off. But like eventually, you get there and then you clean it. But I just find the DMG is like so much more easy to work with, which is why I tend to stick with the DMG kind of like side of things. It's just easier to work with.
I was looking through as I was looking through your Instagram, and there's one down there. It's the board, you've got it sort of, I think it might be beside another one, but the board is like, it's blue. I mean, I'm not like a veteran modder, but I've seen electronics. I work in electronics. I've never seen corrosion like that. I'm going to assume that maybe a battery has just leaked right through it or something, the color of it, but that is bonkers. And you must, because you're really digging around for the gems, you must see some stuff and just think, oh, you poor thing. There it is. When
a battery in that must have just the whole pack of batteries must have just exploded in the back. I think for it to be that bad, I think the corrosion was just, I think it's up the entire sort of back of the board, isn't it? And
it sort of looks like maybe it looks like it was stored on its head with the batteries in it, and then the batteries leaked down through one of the spring terminals, and they're just sort of like, it's hard to imagine they could actually do that.
Disintegrated it. Just, I think even I was just like amazed by how bad it was, because don't get me wrong, you come across some like corrosion, some bad stuff like that, but that was like the worst, and I just had to take a photo of it. I was like, does it like one of the worst.
Does it surprise / impress you as to the ones that still work after a bit of cleanup.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're thinking, what was it, 1989?
Yeah.
And we're in like 2021.
Yeah.
So we're like 30 plus years that these consoles are still going and working.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I'm like, these were built with some like, really well to still be going sort of 30 years later. But then you look at you look at the SNES consoles and there's still people with them going. So
yeah, that's
you've
right.
got to, fair play to Nintendo. It's they've built like really, really decent consoles. And I think it shows with the fact that 30 plus years later, they've still got them going and working and stuff. So
I doubt you'll be able to still use a Switch in 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, I doubt
this is it. I've already,
They just don't. I mean, you look at TVs these days, they're like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, and they're done, and they'll start doing funny things, and the screens will start sort of freaking out.
Yeah.
And stuff. And
they're just not built. Yeah.
No,
they're just not built like,
no.
I guess, electronics, how they used to be built. Yeah. I think it kind of shows in things like that, how well they were built back then.
Yeah. And also they don't suffer from like being bricked with firmware. It seems like everything we buy today, like phones and stuff, as they want to kind of force us into a new purchase. Yeah. Like we've got a Sony TV, and it was kind of fine. It's only a few years old. It was kind of fine, and did a firmware update, and it just went to junk. Like it just doesn't. I ended up buying like an Amazon Fire Stick and plugging that in, and the TV no longer does. It's just a massive like 54-inch monitor now. It just is so janky. They broke it. And the DMG doesn't suffer that. It only has to not be corroded. It's good to go.
No, this is it. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, and that's I'm pretty sure at the minute, like my Switch, because I bought the Switch pretty much when it first came out. Right. I started noticing that the screen's kind of flickering. So I'm thinking my Switch is probably going to be on its way out, but I was hanging in there in case, because I was hoping they were going to be releasing a newer model at some point, but then doesn't seem to be any mention of it recently. I was hoping with the next Zelda, the next Breath of the Wild, they were going to perhaps release a new Switch console, but I've not really heard anything about it. So I'm kind of hanging in there with it at the minute, hoping that it just doesn't die. Yeah,
don't let me down.
It doesn't die on
there.
Yeah, like please don't die on there.
So you've got a Switch, so you must be a player. What sort of games are you playing?
Oh, so like I remember getting it, and Zelda Breath of the Wild, what a game that is. Such a good game. Breath of the Wild, so play that. Obviously Link's Awakening when they released that. Just Mario Kart. I've got like a group of mod girls who like I'm in contact with from doing like what I do, and every so often we go online and we play Mario Kart, so that's quite
cool.
Good. Quite competitive. I'm not very good at it. So like I tend to play with like Next Stop Please and like Pixel Fix and Julianne and like Natalie the Nerd. We all kind of like I think that's all of us. Like we've all got online and I'm not very good. They'll tell you that I'm not very good at it.
Who's the
I always come last.
Who's the number one racer?
I think Next Stop Please tends to win. I think Kelly tends to be the best. She seems to always come out on top. Wins,
she knows all the shortcuts.
Even Nat tends to be. She must do. So then I was back on Mario Kart trying to train myself up to like get better. But we've not been on for a while. To be honest. So we'll probably have to like organise and see if I've got any better with that. But just like I just play pretty much just see what's out and about. Classic cool. Mario, all stuff like that.
Cool. I recently bought a Wii U, and like there's a lot of sort of HD reboots of Mario World 3D and Twilight Princess and a few other things like that. And I'm just like, because I own a GameCube, and I was like, well, I can play them on that. And then when we got the Wii U, I'm like, I might as well play the HD remakes. Like everybody tells me Wind Waker and things like that. So just a matter of kind of making time.
That's one thing I sold was when I moved house, not like previously, but the time before that, I had a GameCube and I sold the GameCube, and I don't know why I did it.
For beer money?
Back now and Oh no, I think it was just the house money. Just moving house.
Food money.
When you're thinking, why did I sell that game?
Yeah.
Like why did I sell that GameCube? Because it was in perfect working order. And that's another thing I regret, was selling that GameCube. I was like, why did I do that? But obviously that, and that's what I was saying before, things that you now realize are like, oh, sentimental, why did I do that? You regret it. You're like, should have kept hold of that.
Oh, well,
But,
they're still
mind.
out there. I mean, you could have one any moment. You could jump on eBay right now and just pick one up. So
it's probably a good point. I might do that actually at some point. But then I sold all the games as well, so I was like, that wasn't a very good choice either.
Yeah,
to like sell the games on the GameCube. I was like,
Is there anything you do collect, whether it be retro gaming related or not? Is there a collector in you?
Obviously I've got a couple of I've got like a the Game Boy that I first modded. I've got a Pocket that I've kept. I've got a micro that I managed to find on eBay, and it was sold as broken, and it's it worked perfectly fine, and it's one of the the Super Mario is it the 25 or the 35 year anniversary edition
one?
ones?
Yeah, the gorgeous one.
There it is. Yeah. You know the red one. Oh yeah. And it was in amazing condition.
Yeah.
So it was sold as broken. Managed to win it on bids, and it's in absolutely amazing condition. So that's like a little kind of, I think it is on my Instagram page.
Yeah,
that's
I'm looking at it right now.
Collector's items that beautiful. I like. Yeah. Oh, it was in such good condition as well. So I was like really, really chuffed with that. So that's like one of my little collector's things. So I have got a couple, but not like, I haven't really got round to like you were saying, you've collected all like the Play It Louds and stuff like that. Not really managed like to source any of them. I tend to if I get them, and depending again on the condition of the shell, if it's in great condition, I think, oh wow, somebody will love this, for like people do want to collect them. So and I've had people like ask me before like to mod like the Play It Loud versions, because they want the backlight in it. So
they want the yellow one, like when they grew up, they had the yellow one.
So but apart from that, there's like nothing I really, really collect, if that makes sense.
I know before we were talking, and you've said on your Instagram that you've got a new dog, a new puppy.
Oh yeah.
So that must take up a lot of time.
So I've been on like a little bit of a hiatus at the minute, just for the simple fact that I've got a new puppy. It's called a Hauser. So have you ever seen Total Recall? The classic original.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what, so obviously he's called Hauser, and I just thought it was a great name for a dog.
That's cool.
So I've got my older dog who's called Hugo, and he's nearly 8, and then obviously I've got this new puppy now called Hauser. And it's just, I forgot how much hard work it is to just monitor, and he's into chewing everything at the minute. If it's not hands, it's shoes. If it's not shoes, it's laces. If it's not that, it's socks. And he's a bit obsessed with eating soil at the minute as well. So I've had to like puppy proof like plants in the house and everything. So I've had to kind of throw all of my energy into that at the minute, and like just I know I'll get there in the end, but obviously I miss modding. I've ordered some bits in, and some bits have come in the post this morning, so I'm like, I've got the things there. It's just I need to like find the time to like get a bit of time to the side to do it. So
and like when they're popped out of sleep, they just kind of like crash out for a bit and then go boink, and they're back up and just super destructive. And and then they're just like absolute chaos. But I'm just thinking, like, I know in a few weeks time it'll be like completely different. So I'm just like trying to grin and bear it at the minute. Like, I know it'll be worth it, but so the puppy's teeny tiny, like kind of shoebox size, teeny tiny.
I can like definitely
10, 12
pick
weeks
him
or
up
something.
and stuff. He's 10 weeks, so he's like it'll be 11 weeks
Is
next
that
week. So
in the laundry, kind of whining and stuff and all that sort of
yeah.
awesomeness.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's like I'm crate training him as well, so just trying to get him used to that. He's fine during the night. He's not bothered. It's sometimes I need to give him a bit of time now because he gets too excited. And I obviously put him in his, he does. He gets too excited. He's like, right, time out. We need some time out.
Yeah.
And then he's in his crate, like whining and howling, and you're like,
tough love, man.
Yeah, trying to deal with it. And obviously, tough love. And then I'm thinking, well, I could mod now, but then I can't with the howling in the background. So
I don't suggest you like do a backlight bivert with a sad puppy howling in the other room.
Oh no, God, no. It breaks my heart anyway hearing him howl.
Yeah, that's right.
So but I definitely like, it's been nice to have a bit of a break, to be honest, and just sometimes we all need it just to have like when you are constantly like keeping up and you're modding and you're doing things, it's just sometimes nice to and then as well with the UK having restrictions lifted, there's been like stuff that you like didn't appreciate before we had the pandemic and the lockdown. It's like, oh wow, I can actually go to do A, B and C again. So just been making the most of that as well, seeing family, seeing friends, going back out. So even that's just taking up time now, because things you couldn't do before, you're like, right, well, I'm going to go and do it now, because having that year where you couldn't, or things were all up in the air. I found that like just like the pandemic, although it was great during the pandemic because it gave you something to focus on, it was but like I say, with the restrictions slowly lifting, it's like you just appreciate the time with friends, family, and just being able to do things. So
hopefully the friends you've made over the last couple of years or whatever, pandemic time, on Instagram,
definitely,
like you've made all these girlfriends, and now it's like, well, hey, we can actually catch up and meet each other in person, so I guess there's that to look forward to. I always the UK, and I guess Europe in general, but the UK seems to have a lot of really good like sort of retro gaming festivals and things like that. There's really not a lot in Australia that I'm aware of. We've got like a PAX and a few other bits and pieces, but it must have been pretty tough over the last year or two for you guys over there and those organizers to kind of see these opportunities slip. So maybe now everything will come back with a vengeance, and
definitely, hope so. Exactly,
so
I'll
like,
talk to anyone, me.
So so talking before about the girls playing the Mario Kart and that sort of thing, it always occurs to me because I have a daughter, she's 10 this year, and I think she's a pretty cool kid. A lot of her and we have a lot of things in common and stuff. I'm obviously got some other, like, we enjoyed Pokemon together, but a lot of what we do together I enjoy because I'm sort of seeing it through her eyes. And so when I see a community like if my daughter said to me, I want to, like, her mum, my wife bought her a gamer chair, and I'm like, that instantly just gives me that feeling of like, just that kind of like, I'm going to go on Twitch and I'm going to be a YouTuber, and that seems like a terrible waste of time, which is not really, but you're trying to explain to a 9-year-old, don't let that be your goal in life.
Of course,
and so then when I see her interest in gaming, because we play Minecraft together and she plays Roblox, and we do a little bit sort of like retro stuff. We play a lot of Tony Hawk on the PlayStation 1 together. She's good at that.
Oh wow,
But then when I see like a community like this community, like this Game Boy modding community, and I see all the cool chicks in it, like yourself and Nat and Kelly, and I've met a dozen, and it really makes me feel better about the world, that I know that my daughter will find a space. Just tell me about that. Did you kind of meet someone and get into Game Boy modding, or did you start doing it and go, well, pleasant surprise, there's a bunch of really nice people and some great chicks here as well?
So like I say, I pretty much like just started the modding, and I think Kelly mentioned in her podcast, I think we were like the first two that kind of like started speaking, because again, most people that I had come across, everybody's lovely in the community, but they had all been like, males. So then obviously to find Kelly, and she's obviously originally from the UK, and I know she lives in Canada now. It was just great to like, chat to her and just, catch up via Instagram. If we ever had any issues, it was like, oh, do you know about this? Do you know about that? And then, eventually started to like, through that, as people start to follow each other, you meet more people. And that's kind of like just how we all kind of came across each other. So it was quite cool. And then you start to just then meet other people, and then you see all the, like incredible talents that these people have, and the stuff that they come up with, and the inspiration that you kind of take from it. It's pretty cool because it's a little great community, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more ladies in the community that I'm yet to meet. Everybody's a friendly bunch. So if there is any ladies that listen to this, just drop us a DM. We are friendly.
Yeah, for sure.
And happy to chat. But even anything like that. It's just nice to just have that kind of like bond and community there. So it's good.
I think it's definitely a difference. There's a lot of these sort of and look, they're what they are. These sort of like Call of Duty sort of bro gaming kind of headshots and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whatever the hobby is or whatever. There's always going to be this kind of weird obnoxiousness. But I think that female presence is really positive, and the artistic skills that are shown by both male and female are astounding. But there's some chicks out there that like you said, Kelly is just like when Kelly did she helped out Ned with a box for a Jigglypuff watch for a chick. It's just like, it's legit. Like it just like
so cool.
I could see 60 of them sitting on a shelf in a store.
So
talented.
And that's what I mean, like all the marbling that Kelly does and everything is just like incredible. And like all the designs like Julianne does, from Game Boy 777, her designs are just incredible, and the things that she comes up with and things like that. But then even like with some of the, like James, like I said before, James, he plays, and his designs and what he comes up with, they're just awesome as well. And then
you've got Nat, the mad scientist,
she's just
kicking goals all over the place.
Her LED boards are just absolutely incredible. Like they are so cool. I've always said to her, like, your boards are amazing, like, thank you for creating them, because God, I can't wait till she makes a DMG one, because I love putting like a couple of, like LEDs into like the odd DMG. But when she makes a board for that, it's going to be like so much more easier work than having to like, like fit the LEDs in like I do now and stuff. So her work is like amazing as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
One of the most amazing attributes of someone like Nat, and specifically Nat, is her. She's so willing to share the knowledge. Like she's making it happen, but she's like, and look, she's put out information about, you could get, I don't really understand what she's talking about, but you could get this made yourself. Here is how it's done. And that's just phenomenal. There's a lot of sort of knowledge hoarding and all sorts. I've been through several hobbies, and you sort of go, oh, that's pretty good. Oh, how do you do that? And they're like, oh, you just sort of work it out, and full well they just don't want to tell you because their little ego is protecting their little nest of knowledge. And it's like, you're sort of ruining the hobby for me, because I just want to be able to replicate what you're doing, and we can enjoy it together. Unfortunately, but no, it's the absolute opposite with people like Nat. And like you said, so much of the community is about sharing and inspiring, and just because I think everybody understands that when something happens, then someone is always improving on it and tweaking it and changing it, and that's a benefit, because it always comes back around, and that person goes, oh wow, okay, well, what if we did this and this and this? It's super crazy.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah. And like I say, there's so many people in the community that if you do have an issue with a Game Boy, that, you know, if they just like, you could message anyone, like I'm always happy to help. And they're like, oh, this has happened. I'm like, oh, try A, B, and C. Always happy to help out, you know. It could be something as simple as like, you know, a wire's not been soldered or something.
Yeah.
You know, if I know how to fix a problem, I'm happy to help. And I get that vibe from like many people in the community that they're there to help and they will do. And that's just a nice thing, which is, you know, it's good to see.
Yeah, 100%. And look, I guess it's probably a good opportunity then to sort of, you know, for you to kind of, I guess we call it a shout out or whatever, but you know, the girls that are in your crew, or maybe there's some, maybe there's some other girls and or guys that you know, they think are doing a great thing.
Of course.
I normally throw one out there. For this episode, it's retrogame.evo. I'm going to assume this is a gentleman, only based on some of the photos. The hands look like a guy's hand.
Is he the guy who does the buttons?
Yes, and that is 100% buttons.
Yeah.
And just some really nice photography. But yes, some pretty rad
buttons.
He's
got some. Definitely. Yeah. I've seen his little cool buttons before. Yeah, they're awesome.
Just the sort of the photography in general. Like one of his most recent posts is it's a DMG, but there's all like some flowers on the ground, and it's like he's caught the reflection. Yeah. There's another one down here of a church in the reflection. But look, just one of those really solid builders that has a lot of sort of good, clean, solid builds, and you just sort of think, man, that's some nice stuff. And there's always someone around to kind of set an example. And you know, this stuff is amazing. Yeah, those buttons are bonkers. There's some pretty bonkers buttons in there.
Definitely.
I have to have a chat with this person.
Yeah,
so that's me. Retrogame.evo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. And now the conch is yours.
I was saying to you before, there's so many people. Like, I'd love to shout out to everyone, but obviously we've got Kelly next up, please. She's one of the first people I met in the community. She's awesome, you know. Like I say, she's one of the Mario Kart gamers that I sometimes game
Number
with.
One.
We've got Ned Pixel Fix. She's obviously awesome. Julianne, you know, Game Boy 777, Nat the Nerd. Obviously, everybody loves Nat and her boards. There's also 8-Bit Pixel Dust. I don't know if you've seen her work.
Kiki.
I think she's called Kiki. She does some amazing designs.
She does.
Obviously, Jamesy plays, Peg 8 City, Ace Mods, and Joseph Tompkins. I think he's done some incredible work recently as well.
I love
Joseph Tompkins. Yeah, he's done some amazing stuff.
A couple of his the Beskar laser etch shells. Love them.
Yeah. And then I used to keep really good contact with DRB Customs. That was a guy, I'm sure it's called David, and apologies, I'm sure it is. And like I think he's kind of going in a different direction, but he used to do some pretty cool stuff, and I think recently he's been getting involved in like a couple of like skateboard printing and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's been
art's the art, isn't it? Sometimes it's really nice just to appreciate what people are doing, because and things will sort of come back around, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You often see, you know, like it might be like, oh, it's sort of skateboards at the moment, but they might be skateboards with DMGs on them. You know, so
exactly,
it all sort of becomes that one world that makes the person up.
Yeah, he always used to be super helpful, and we used to like trade stuff and send each other like bits and parts for Game Boys and things like that. So yeah. But then I remember he said it was like going off in a different direction, but he was always pretty cool to like keep in contact with and chat to and stuff. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, coolio. I really do appreciate your time. I really do love just the
thank you.
The amount of work that you put in, and I think this little puppy should stop being so selfish and let Amber get back to bringing more Game Boys back to life. But yeah, like it won't be too long, and
I'm sure he will.
He'll be sitting down there by your feet.
No, he won't.
No, he won't.
Yeah. It will.
Yeah, he'll be sitting there by your feet, listening to the radio.
He'd be my
then you'll be like punching them out. It'll be fine. It'll be worth it.
Oh yeah, it can maybe be my new little mascot at some point, like
Right.
with the Game Boys. We'll see how he is.
Oh yeah, maybe if you
But
get
yeah,
new,
no, I'll
if
be
you get a new
I'll
logo
definitely.
cart done, maybe you'll have to integrate the puppy into the image or something.
Well, this is it. Yeah. But no, like I'll definitely be hopefully soon back on the mod side of things. It's just just a lot going on at the minute. But yeah, no, be glad to get back to it. Missed it a lot. So yeah.
All righty. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time. It's your Saturday. I really do.
Yeah, no props.
Appreciate everybody that comes on and shares their story and and helps us to kind of find, every time I meet someone like yourself, I hear about someone else and then I go and follow them and check their stuff. And then it's just this ever growing list of just amazing, creative, helpful, wonderful.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
That just make it so hard to. I think my Instagram has just gone bonkers in the last probably 6 months just because there's just so much to enjoy. I never in my mind thought that a Game Boy could just be such a diverse kind of thing. It's really, it's amazing. Love it. All righty.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Great little community, like I said. Yeah. No, thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
No, thank you. All right. Well, we'll be in touch and you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Okay. Ta-da.
Take care.
Bye.